That's okay. Hello. Yes, we're back. And maybe stronger. Hello, hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is 12 minutes and 54 seconds into this stream. Our producer had not been made aware that the sound was not awake yet. But here we are, feeling so good from the inside out. Better than your morning would feel without. This gives us a chance to do it way, 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 way better. Good morning. It is 5:49 a.m. on Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. It is a Tuesday, which means it is True Love Tuesdays on Pal Go On. Are you ready to continue to love life through everything and quit fearing death as we go through, as we stretch our self-awareness like a muscle every morning? Please allow all of these words to go in one ear and out the other, as we are paying always attention and reacting always to meaning, as we use our sense of the world to make sense of the world. It feels so great objectively. How do you feel great objectively? With the help of your Only No Nonsense podcast, brought to you through the Best Feeling Network, and the help of your own body, baby, from the inside out. Get ready for another True Love Tuesdays to use some body magic tricks on Pal Go On, as we always do, to feel so good from the inside out, for us to hold our controller properly in this simulation in which you die every 5 minutes, but that timer is reset with a breath. I'm your host, Herbie. Good morning, everyone. To talk about women ego, as we have a penchant for incendiary title names. Women ego. We'll be talking about women ego. We'll be just using some words to tick you off and to rile your senses and not have any tools to rein you back in, and help you feel so good from the inside out, using some nice body magic tricks by you and your self-awareness. No, of course not. Of course not. We would not leave you like that, helpless and stranded on Pal Go On. Instead, we are waking up. We are supercharging our mornings every morning, breaking down misconceptions about your body that society has put in to you about you. We will always be holding our controller together properly and feeling so good and living this life of ours as we are all in this together. Please place a candle in front of your lips, in your mind's eye or whatever, right? Please place a lit candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out. And I invite you, wherever you are, whether you're outside or inside, whether you are dancing or sitting still, whether you are standing up or sitting down, I invite you to say it with me, even if it's in your head. The tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front. The tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. The tip of your tongue, say it with me, even if it's just in your head, wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. Remember that the back 1/3 of your tongue is vertical, up and down, up and down, up and down. As we leave our swallowing muscles alone and observe your sense of self, don't just take my word for it. How does that feel for you? As we will be right back after this short break. Here on Pack 1. I know you know that love is not that emotional crap built from fear, but rather the truth without hatred. But here on Padawan, as we're always talking about, today, to feel so good from the inside out, on True Love Tuesday especially, as we know that love being the truth without hatred, we are ready to talk a little bit about how we are all on the same side, here to love life together. In this simulation of ours in which we die every 5 minutes, but that timer is reset with a breath. Are we remembering the truth of our bodies by pretending that there's a candle in front of our lips that we're trying to not put out, and remembering that the tip of our tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth? As you're remembering the back 1/3 of our tongue wants to be vertical as we leave our swallowing muscles alone. Always observing our sense of self the entire way through. The truth without hatred. Why? Because as we know, the greatest force in anybody's life is their own inner design, their own faculties for reason and logic, their own relationship to their own design, aka this God thing. Their relationship with their design to be able to detach from this physical suffering, to be able to watch their own life like a movie. As we know, that's the strongest force in anyone's life, so as we know, the truest love of all is to guide that force in their lives, as that will output the most good that anything possibly ever can, and will always stay with that person. So we know to love someone most is to guide them most towards their relationship with God, this thing with this relationship with this design of the human being. Not this sky god thing, this thing in the sky looking down that we need to appease like we're some Sims character, but rather the relationship with their own design that allows them to overcome all internal suffering, which eventually becomes external suffering, right? How they deal with external suffering, because your body is this vessel, right? Your body is this tool to output things onto the world, to affect things into the world. So how your body feels is going to affect how you're able to affect the world. How your body feels is going to affect you in the world, right? As we are remembering the truths about ourselves and stretching ourselves, awareness so great every morning. With Herbie, here on Padawan. Where art thou? Where are you pretending that there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out? Are you skating on the boardwalk? Are you maybe working on some applications? Have you just woken up? Or have you been awake for a while now and you are midway through your day and you are on the daily grind? Where are you? How are you? Have you been able to ask yourself how your balance was feeling today? How your sense of self was feeling today? As you are remembering that the tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. You absolutely beautiful creature, you. You absolutely beautiful creature, you. Where art thou? Is it bright where you are, or is it kind of dark where you are? Wherever you are deciding that you want to leave your swallowing muscles alone, and remember that the strongest force in your life is this connection with your relationship with yourself, as in your design to affect your spirit, as in your body's willingness to put energy or to continue putting energy despite spiritual suffering into whatever you're working on. Your spirit, as in whatever, as in the amount that your body feels willing and able to output energy to continue working on the task that you're working on. This spirit of yours, which you are able to affect by pretending there's a candle in front of your lips. This spirit of yours, which we also align heavily with the idea of awareness, as whatever is on your awareness heavily affects your spirit, right? Imagine someone telling you to sprint for an undetermined amount of time versus someone telling you to sprint for 5 seconds. The awareness of the differences in challenge certainly affects your willingness to start sprinting. Your spirit. And so we're talking about on True Love Tuesday, as we are aligning our spirits together by knowing more truisms about ourselves together. What else is true? The tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. But don't just take my word for it. Please allow all of these words to go in one ear and out the other. Try that for yourself and see how it feels for you. Wherever you are, whenever thou art. Let's talk about women ego. Herbie, are women the only people who have ego? What do you mean, Herbie? Can't just talk about women and then ego as if they're the only people who have ego. If this possibly upsets you, maybe perhaps there is a reason in which we should be isolating this issue. Of course, men and women both have ego. However, what we are looking at in the world right now is a hyper-focus on the masculine ego. So let's look at the feminine ego. As we know, not just because neither picture, male or female, is complete the idea of the other, as they beget one another, kind of like the yin and the yang. But also because there is not enough focus, which means there is not enough problem solving, as we are all trying to love life and try to get away from fearing death, are we not? So as we are always trying to love life together and as we are all on the same side, let's solve some problems and look at some possibly less looked at topics today on here on True Love Tuesdays, as we know that love is the truth without hatred and not some emotional garbage that is created more from fear of abandonment, but rather a love for life, a zest for life, which comes from the truth without hatred. Let's talk about it here on True Love Tuesdays. We'll be right back to talk about women ego. Please place that candle in front of your lips, in front of everybody's lips, and don't put it out. We'll be right back. feeling so good from the inside out, better than your morning would feel without. Feel like I'm in a time loop because we had that audio issue earlier in the show, so we had to restart. Welcome back to another True Love Tuesday with your host Herbie here on Pal Go On. Today is Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. Do you remember the 21st night? Feel the front of your shins now. I invite you today, wherever you are, whenever thou art, as we are stretching our self-awareness, whether you are here hanging out with us here today on this True Love Tuesday. I want to thank you on YouTube. I want to thank you on D-Live. I want to thank you on Twitch. Thank you for coming through, whether you are from Instagram, from real life, from TikTok, Twitter sphere, wherever you are from. I want to thank you, and I appreciate you for coming through. I invite you to hold the controller properly with me in this simulation of ours in which we die every 5 minutes, but that timer is reset with a breath by pretending there's a candle in front of your lips that you're trying to not put out, and it's just flickering there. And in order to hold this controller properly so that we can select and see everything properly in the world, I invite you to pretend that there's a candle in front of every human being's lips that they're trying to not put out as well as yours, because you are also a human being, are you not? And as this candle flickers in front of every human being's lips, including yours, and you're trying to not put it out, I invite you to remember that you're not thinking about inhaling or exhaling in the way that we normally do. You're not thinking about inhaling or exhaling. The body moves on its own as you're pretending there's a candle in front of the lips, that you're trying to not put it out. And our body's aligning itself as we remember that the tip of our tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front of our teeth. The back of the bottom front teeth for us. The back of the bottom incisors. And as we leave our swallowing muscles alone, does our body feel as though it aligns differently as we observe our sense of self now? Always pretending there's a candle in front of everybody's lips that everybody is trying to not put out, to hold this controller properly in this simulation in which we are in which we prioritize this breathing because we die every 5 minutes, yet that timer is reset with a breath as we are holding this controller so properly, massaging our self-awareness, looking around today. How does your sense of self feel? As in your kinesthetic experience, your body experience, which grounds the rest of your senses. How does it feel today to look inward towards that part of your body in which you even relate to whether you get off the good side of the bed, the wrong side of the bed? How is that feeling for you today? Do you feel that there's a hole in your heart? Unsolvable, unshared by anybody else? Do you feel that there is a hole in your soul? Do you feel that there is a hole in who you are? Or are you feeling quite wholesome today? Are you feeling as though you are lonely? Are you feeling like you want some company? Or are you feeling satisfied and in love with yourself? Or are you feeling like you are being given the love that you deserve? What is in your awareness today? Does it feel hard to get up? Does it feel hard to get out of bed? Does it feel hard to continue? Does it feel hard to move on? Are you already in love and you feel that it's stagnating and you don't know how to get out of this mud? Wherever you think you may be, I invite you to check your baseline with me by pretending there's a candle in front of your lips that you are trying to not put out. not just yours, but every human being's, as we light up our world and hold this controller properly, right? I implore you, you got a job to do. There is a hole in the shape of your soul in society that is left by you when you are down and out, disallowing yourself the energy to be yourself around people, around society, because of a heartbreak, or because you might be infatuated because you're forgetting yourself over a love. There is a hole, the shape of your soul in society, left when you are bogged down by this, when you allow your spirit to be bogged down by what we think is love, this emotional crap which we associate with love, which happens to be mostly built out of fear of abandonment. There's a hole in society that you leave when we are not able to drag ourselves out the funk, or when we find ourselves placing this emotional love as our God. As our God. Well, I invite you today to create this real relationship with this God thing by pretending and by remembering that the tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. For the sake of you, you have a job to do, which is to have a strong relationship with God, which is the fact that the back one-third of your tongue is vertical. Up and down, up and down, up and down. This God thing is just the fact that the back one-third of your tongue is vertical. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And how that ends up feeling for you. This God thing ends up just being the fact that the tip of your tongue wants to be anchored to the back of the bottom front teeth. And how that ends up feeling for you. I invite you today to generate that relationship with it, but at the end of the day, you will be you. Let's talk today about women ego on True Love Tuesday, as we are feeding ourselves the truth without hatred. Why? As we know, that is true love, not this emotional crap. Women ego. What is ego? Fear. Why is it fear? All humans want to overcome suffering. And with the help of other human beings' approval of you, their acceptance of you socially, you can overcome a lot of suffering. It's a strong tool. If you feel like you can't have access to said tool, don't you feel a little bit less powerful? Don't we need the ego to allow us to continue to be accepted by other people, as we see the acceptances from other people as a source of power, a source of strength, a source of ability to overcome suffering? What is ego if not fear of losing this power, of acceptance of other people? So we put on certain facades, this ego thing. All about the looks, all about the appearance, so that we can be accepted by people. When we prioritize acceptance of other people, when we prioritize that as strength in our lives. Now, what is a woman? A womb man, the bringer of lives, the chaos to the man's order. Now, why are women chaos, Herbie? Why are women chaos? Are you saying that all women are chaotic? Yes. Women are the romantic side. Women are the idealistic side. Women orient towards the idealized, the yet unseen, the chaotic, the infinite inside, the subconscious, the unconscious, the unknown, but it is known because it is the unknown. They're romanticized. idealized, the women tend to orient to. Now the men, what, they're orderly? What they can't keep their room clean though? What do you mean they're orderly? As in, men concern themselves with the known, with the objective, with the seen world, as opposed to women concerning themselves with the unseen world, the emotional world. And men concerning themselves with the objective world, the seen world. Without each other, which neither of which would be able to understand their own experiences as they are necessarily part of each other's experiences, necessarily. So understanding one side of the men and female experience. To understand one side would be to understand both sides, as they enrich and necessitate each other in their experience. What would men do without the women? Probably a whole lot of nothing, as they forget their sense of self and concern themselves too much with the world without. What would women do without men? Probably not survive in the world without, as they are overly concerned with the world within. And so as the woman concerns themselves with the self, and as the men concern themselves as the world without the self, don't both each other need each other like both sides of the wheel? What is ego? The fear of losing the acceptance of other people, which can only happen when you value the acceptance of other people as a strength mistakenly, instead of this God thing, which is our connection to the ability to put into our awareness. The back one third of our tongue is vertical, and the tip of our tongue wants to be anchored to the back and bottom front teeth. And then seeing how that feels for you and how that energizes your ability to affect the world. The true strength, instead of this acceptance from other people, in which spawns the ego. Now, why might there be ego in the women's sphere? As we are always loving life together here, right? As we are always on the same side, just solving problems together, right? As we are all on the same ship together, right? As we are all a team together, right? Teamwork make the dream work, right, guys? As we are feeling so good from the inside out when we get back from the break, where might this and where might you see this and where might this ego be coming from? Where might you see the ego, the women ego, and where might the ego be coming from? We'll be right back at this break. As we're feeling so good from the inside out, if you would please pretend with me there's a candle in front of everybody's lips that they're trying not to put out. Remember those things about the tongues, as we are controlling or holding our controller properly today on True Love Tuesday on Padawan. We'll be right back after this short break. Pew. Tuesdays are always kind of hard, right? Tuesdays are always kind of hard, right? Wrong! Not here on True Love Tuesdays, here on Padawan. I know you love you. I know you love yourself. When you pretend there's a candle in front of your lips and everybody's lips that they're trying to not put out. I know you love yourself here on Padawan on True Love Tuesdays. I know you love yourself by holding this controller properly in this world so you can feel so great, to allow your spirit to allow your body to do anything it wants. I know you love yourself. Here on True Love Tuesdays, we're talking about women ego today. It is 6:23 a.m. on Tuesday, September 21st, 2021, as we stretch our self-awareness every day, every morning to feel so great from the inside out. Here on Padawan. The women ego. Wherever you are, whenever thou art, have we seen a woman ego? What is ego? The protection of one's face. Not literally, well maybe. But the protection of one's repertoire. The protection of the protection of one's ability to be what they perceive accepted by people. As they might perceive the acceptance of people as the biggest strength that they can have in this world. And our intuition's not completely wrong, as being accepted by people does have its strength in the world should you be trying to affect different things in the world. Should you be trying to get all the food you want in the world? Should you be trying to get all the friends in the world? Should you want to be getting all the food? I think I said that. Should you be trying to get all the drinks, the attention from the opposite sex that you want in the world, that you think you want in the world, in order to attain all the things that you think you want in the world? Doesn't this ego believe that you must be accepted by people in order to achieve those things?